Do you think so too?
Yeah.
Do about it.
Should hold off for a while.
But I wonder how those hiring people will react to this.
An Umbrella-sponsored express train, heading past Raccoon City to the Arkley Mountains. Based on notes found later in-game, many aboard were Umbrella investigators, sent to inspect the long-abandoned executive training facility. Umbrella planned to consolidate assets and reopen it. This crash is known as the Ecliptic Express incident. The man outside is the Queen Leech from last episode. Marcus, reborn. Quick note, shouldn't Marcus be around 90 by now? So why is he still a long-haired man in white? Remember what I mentioned before? He revived because the Queen Leech copied his body and mind. So Marcus is actually the Queen Leech. She can appear any age using his face to do her dirty work. Meanwhile, Umbrella first sends Team B, Rebecca's squad, the ReZero heroine. They deploy by chopper, but it suddenly malfunctions. The pilot stays calm and lands safely. They find a wrecked Jeep. Every MP inside is dead. After searching, they get a lead: death row inmate Billy Cohen. Captain Enrico orders them to pursue the escapee. Note, they don't know the Queen Leech attacked the train. They're only here to investigate the Arkley murders. After some fighting, we reach the train cars and run into Billy around a corner. No time to talk. One wants an arrest, the other wants out. So they split. Bill is too strong for Rebecca. Meanwhile, Edward climbs in through a window, badly hurt. He warns Rebecca about the area, then dies. He later turns and gets shot. Skip. While roaming, Rebecca gets swarmed by leeches. Billy appears and saves her with clean shooting. They hit it off and decide to team up. The game officially adds Billy as a playable character, which means some puzzles require using both characters. I won't go deep into the co-op mechanics.
Who is that guy?
What's going on? Who's controlling the train?
Go and check out the first engine car. Listen, we gotta cooperate with each other from now on. You got that?
Well, I don't...
Clue in, girl. Or maybe you like being worm bait.
All right, but you just remember, I will shoot you if you try anything funny.
Fine.
The train's speeding up clearly. If we don't find a way to stop it in the control room, ITLL crash at the terminal. More fighting as usual. Crawl through vents. Grapple to the roof. Stunt moves. We finally reach the control room and find a brake manual on the console. Basically, one stays in the control room, the other goes to the rear, inserts a card, and enters a code to unlock brake power. Then the front person enters another code to stop the train. Wow, that's complicated. If this were a real emergency, this genius process would fail 100%. The crash site is directly beneath the executive training facility. Through sewers and a ladder, they reach the main hall. Here, their goal is simple: escape. Along the way, doors won't open, so we need 2 items to balance a scale, or push boxes to clear a path, or move chess pieces to reach Marcus Diarrhea. He'll bring up key documents when they matter. Rebecca gets in danger more than once. Billy saves her without hesitation. That makes Rebecca suspicious. By the record, Billy was a lieutenant who killed 23 innocent civilians on a mission. But the Billy in front of her feels reliable. So was there a misunderstanding? After repeated questions, Billy tells the truth. Yes, Billy was a Marine lieutenant, and that deployment was his last. Orders said, go to Africa and wipe out an anti-government rebel base. With traps and ambushes everywhere. By arrival, only 4 from the unit were left. They discover the intel was F******ing wrong. The rebel nest was just a civilian area. The captain orders, kill everyone and go home. And of course, Billy tries to stop it. The captain knocks Billy out with a rifle butt. Then he and 2 others shoot 23 civilians. Back home, the captain pins the massacre on Billy. Billy is court-martialed and sentenced to death. When the Queen Leech attacked the train, Billy was being transported to execution. The MPS escorting him were killed by leeches. Billy escapes and meets Rebecca on the train. That's how they got here. After a long detour, they lower the observatory behind the facility, opening a path to a small island behind it. 2 floors underground, Billy finds an aerial cable car. While powering it up, a monkey jumps Billy's face. They fall off the platform into water unknown fate. Panicked, Rebecca rides the car downstream into the depths. On the way, she meets Captain Enrico. The talk goes, Rebecca, did you find Billy? Knowing the truth, Rebecca stays silent about the frame-up. Enrico says, if he's not found, move on. Follow me. There's a route to Umbrella's old research mansion. Rebecca insists on finding the prisoner and tells him to go ahead. After that, they split again. Note, this is the last time Rebecca sees the old captain. Next time he appears is in Rionshot by Wesker. Then we take the elevator to the facility's lowest level. Forget him drifting for now. Let's talk location. Later files indicate it's a wastewater treatment plant and also a hydroelectric station. It's likely beneath the 2 earlier buildings. But a very weird thing happens here. Hold that thought. I'll reveal it after we finish this episode's recap. Bill's been swept away. We have to save him. But the plant is out of power. Lifts and electric doors won't open. So we hit the control room and do a board game puzzle to restore power. Then we reach the water's endpoint, the reservoir, before treatment. Inside, we find Billy washed onto the steps. Together, they push through the building toward the bottom loading bay. A small freight lift should take them up to a surface warehouse. From the warehouse gate, they can escape. But after all that, are we forgetting someone important? Yep, the Queen Leech. I barely mentioned her earlier. She appears rarely, mostly watching via surveillance. And she blocks us at the loading bay for a proper fight. Like I said last episode, when we first meet her, Marcus was killed in 1988 and dumped. Then the Queen Leech consumed his body and synced his mind. Reborn, she inherits his hatred and decides to take revenge on Umbrella. And now she transforms on the spot. The Queen Leech has two forms. In Form 1, she's still humanoid. Not very strong, use furnaces, rails, bottles, whatever's around, and kite her around pillars to chip her down. Once you do, Form 1 breaks apart. Then, on the freight lift ride to the surface warehouse, Form 2 jumps in, flips the lift, and sends everything flying. Luckily, they're near the surface, so they're not badly hurt. Catch your breath, and the second fight begins. In Form 2, you basically can't kill her. Officially, her vitality is absurd. She can resist blades, guns, even heavy fire. But she has one weakness: light. Under light, UV destroys her cells, so she can't maintain Form 2. She becomes extremely fragile, barely able to defend herself. Rebecca and Billy notice this immediately and open the warehouse roof together. The massive Queen Leech has nowhere to hide. Sunlight pours in like an invisible cage, pinning her down. And Billy finishes it with the ultimate weapon, the magnet.
Hey, that must be the old mansion that Enrico was talking about. I guess it's time to say goodbye. Officially, Lieutenant Billy Cohen is dead.
Yeah, I'm just a zombie now. Thank you, Rebecca.
And that's where Resident Evil Zero's story ends. Wesker also appears in this story, but he never meets the protagonists. His key line is, S.T.A.R.S. Raccoon City Team B has been missing. So Wesker returns, claiming he's searching for survivors, and leads Team A to the mansion. The real goal is to use Team as combat skills to gather battle data for Umbrella's new B.O.W. Meanwhile, William stays behind to develop the G-Virus. And to erase the facility completely, William decides to trigger the self-destruct before leaving. As we kill the Queen Leech's second form, the self-destruct activates, and the facility is blown to pieces. Quickly, where do Rebecca and Billy go after they separate? From the ending dialogue, Rebecca heads to the mansion to regroup. In Rion, if you play as Chris, Rebecca appears as a non-playable supporting character. If you play as Jill, Rebecca doesn't appear in Rion. Either way, it's assumed Rebecca escapes the Arklay Mountains and returns to Raccoon City. The reports the chasing Umbrella thats later. This insane company caused far too many tragedies. Do you think it's all the same? I don't know. From what we've seen, right, Professor Chambers? She mostly focuses on researching virus vaccines. And years later, she's still insanely gorgeous. As for Billy officially, he died in the Ecliptic Express incident. After separating from Rebecca, this explosive character vanishes. Akno, let's talk about the mystery elevator I mentioned. Why call it a mystery elevator? Herre's why. First, I mapped the rough route. The game has no big map. They meet on the train, then the train crashes in a tunnel. Through a short sewer and a ladder, you reach the facility's main hall. So the crash tunnel is basically right under the facility. Simple enough, got it? Next, from the game's layout we can see the observatory and chapel sit behind the facility. And the cable car is under 2 of the chapel area. They'll show my sketch, you can follow it, right? Based on the cable car direction and the downstream power/waste facility. The cable car goes underground toward downstream, meaning further into that water system. The official map doesn't show that facility, so use my side view sketch. Those 3 sites are roughly placed now. There's also a big lift I didn't mention, but in-game it's a straight vertical lift, so it shouldn't move horizontally. Fine, ignore it. The horizontal layout is set. Now to the point, the mystery elevator. Near Enrico, there's an elevator. Can stop at 4 floors. Floors 2 and 3 are 2 levels of a lab I didn't cover. Floor 4 is where Rebecca finds Billy unconscious in the water. And the crash site level, the waste/hydro facility. Those floors being close makes sense. But when you go to floor 1, what the hell, you're back at the train crash site. Meaning a vertical elevator takes you from a far-off waste plant, through mountains, upstream, and back under the facility. What is this elevator, some tunneling beast? So I stitched together the stage maps. Sure enough, that floor 1 exit is wildly unreasonable. Based on the exit location and the route into the main hall, if this elevator were real, it should be under the foundation behind the facility, meaning the shaft from floor 2 to floor 1 would have to slope for kilometers. But in-game, the shaft is clearly vertical. Still curious, I searched online and ended with 2 conclusions. 1. If you force an explanation, the shaft is slanted, but it creates tons of contradictions. 2. Capcom wrote themselves into a corner. Honestly, the mystery elevator not making sense doesn't matter. Because of S.T.A.R.S mechanics, items you drop in the facility stay there in the save. Later, you're far away, backtracking to fetch items is a nightmare. It's brutally annoying. So at that point, an interdimensional elevator that jumps mountains and seas is super convenient. As a Gamino, one's going to litigate it. These little bugs are just fun trivia to joke about. And given Capcom's reputation, this kind of bug isn't that shocking. Laugh it off. Then dive back into the zombie-filled world and blow off some steam.